weekend, I built this. And I got this wood. The hardest thing about it was getting this wood here, because I don't have a car that can do it. So I had help doing this one. And now, today, I had help getting this wood right here for my bed. Because the idea has been, this is going to be a workstation. There is going to be a screen. This connects to my computer in my other room. I'm essentially just splicing my monitors into here. I'm going to put a big TV right there, and I'm going to put a monitor here. But there's all this wasted space up here, right? So I'm lifting the bed 34 inches off the ground, which makes the top surface around 45 inches tall. So it's about here for me, so I can just jump into bed. And I can store a bunch of stuff under it. And this is way more complex. My brother helped me build the tables in the other room, and he said I need to support this one more because, you know, I don't know if you'd want to sleep on something that is like a table. This is good for a workstation and can hold monitors and stuff, but if you're moving around, like, I'm gonna have to build this like a miniature house. So a foot in on each side here will have bars or wood panel, which gives me about 4 feet to get in. And then under it, which isn't very high, I can keep like totes and stuff. I'm gonna do that. So I can also access it here kinda, but I do have support beam that's gonna go across so that it doesn't wiggle as much. Same as here, but it's not as tall as I thought it was gonna be because I wanted to be able to sit on my knees, you know, and be up at the ceiling. So if I sit down, I'll be level with the TV, play computer games from my bed, watch movies from my bed, edit from my bed. But I was about to just finish this video and clean my house, but then when I had help to get the wood here, and this isn't tall enough, you have to extend it with these. So that is going to be against the wall, so I'll hide that more under the mattress. But that's what I had to do because they don't sell 5-foot long boards there. And I have this left over. I'm also taking care of a baby bird, and I really hope he survives. Okay, so this is pretty much the only waste that I don't have any use for, and this is waste from cutting that down. And this is perfect for a shelf in the corner. I don't want any shelves like this unless it's way above me, because that's where my head is going to be going up and down to go to sleep and stuff. So I'm going to put it like here. I'm going to put a mirror against the wall. The mirror is too tall, so I'm going to build a shelf that hangs from this one for my phone and things like that. So yeah, that's the mission, and that's what I'm going to do. I don't have the wood to build it yet, but I've geeked out on that like crazy. I've gone through 4 revisions almost trying to figure out how to get this to work, and I put it all on the computer and did it in a graphics program, and this is what I'm going to take to Lowe's. I need 6 16-footers, and I'm going to cut them in different ways to shape this. So that's next. Who the fuck is that? Dude, I did this perfect. I overanalyzed everything. I made this perfect. This is exactly how I crunched numbers for days on this, and I got it just right. That was the perfect sweet spot where I don't hit my head. This thing doesn't wobble as much. I don't think I need to put these under here. I can if I want, but this thing's pretty sturdy. I think I'm gonna leave it like this, keep this wood. If it does seem to be caving in, then I can put these legs right here just for as added support. If it can make it without them, I can get hella stuff under there. So I'm pooped, man. I'm gonna put a mirror right here. Check this out. We're gonna have to do a turn around in here. Alright, I'm gonna do a bunch of work. Since this is pretty much done, I have a lot of stuff to do. So I'm just gonna do it. If you saw the video before, then you see all this and how I hung up the paintings. Essentially that. I'm gonna set this up. This I'm gonna put right here maybe, if it's not in head reach. If I do hit my head, I'll put it a little higher and then have a drop shelf a little lower. This is higher than I thought, so I might need to make a nightstand step up. I'll put a nightstand here so I can get up. We'll see. Let's go to the next thing. All right, here's the completed bed. So it's been a long while since I built this thing. I've been using it for months now. I had a hard drive crash and I lost a bunch of the footage of finishing this. So there's some things like putting the shelf up and some stuff I did underneath here. Now at first I had drilled some random things into the wall, and this is just drywall. There's no stud behind this. And I had thin pieces of wood that weren't connected to that right here to keep it from pulling away from the wall. And I have similar things over here. I don't know if it'll show up, where it's just in drywall, and it was to keep the bed from shaking. And I couldn't figure out how to keep the bed from shaking. I didn't want this to move and then break all these things off the wall because it would damage the wall. What I ended up doing is, this stuff is in the way, but I got a stud finder, and on both sides I have marked where the studs are, and I connected the bed to the wall. And if I need to, I can do that right here, and I might in the future, because there's still a little bit of a shake. So there is a little bit of a shake, but because it's mounted to the wall, there's no fear of it bashing. I don't really know. The shake was never like an issue when you're sleeping. It's not like the thing is wobbling. It's like when you get up on your knees and you do swaying motions, the bed could sway and then smash back into the wall. So it was more like, oh, this thing's gonna pull the grooves out of the drywall and then slam back into the wall. And I don't want that. So by connecting it to the studs, it's kind of solved that problem. Now the mirror on the wall is not attached. It's just some boards underneath here that help keep the mattress pushed out, because the mattress is like right on the edge of the board. So if I didn't have the mirror there, you'd have a little bit of this poking out. But I calculated for this because I knew this was going to be here, and then I just slapped this stick on top so that it had a surface to be on. Kind of thrown together. This top part is, but whatever. Then this is just kind of held against the wall with those clips with the shelf, and the shelf is not very strong at all, so it just holds all the stuffed animals I have. Then the space between the table and the bed was just enough for these two nightstands, so I have like a space. The coolest thing about having this bed is just being able to sit back and have a TV right here where I can turn on YouTube and I can watch whatever I want before I go to sleep. I can Chromecast if I really want to, because the HDMI is split from my computer in the other room into here. I can switch to my PC on this big screen, and this is a wireless keyboard to my PC, so I could just watch YouTube or edit videos. I could edit this video that I'm filming right now from my bed. So having this setup has been really cool. Like this specifically, having the TV and a little spot for my phone where I can cast from my phone to the TV or use my computer from my bed. Just having those options and using them, I didn't realize how much I would enjoy it. I knew having this setup was going to be cool, but I didn't know how much being on the computer and seeing a 30-minute to 2-hour video and being like, well, I could watch that right now, or I could just wait until I'm going to bed to watch it. And it's more comfortable to watch it here anyways. And what's cool is because it's Chromecast and it's linked to my YouTube account anyways, whatever I'm watching on my computer or phone is going to pick up on this wherever I'm at. So if I'm listening to a podcast in my car, get out, put my phone right here, turn this on, I can just continue listening to the podcast on the TV if I wanted to and go to sleep. So having this is cool. If I want to get out, I can just pop out of bed like that. This is here so I can climb in. It doesn't need to be, so I mean, I could move that and just use this as a step to get up, but this is a good home for it. It's a nice little spot. So the only thing about this is you don't want to step on the sides. You have to step in the middle. If you step on the side, you will eat shit. So yeah, this bed, I've lost track of what it costs, but I'm gonna say it was under $300 or around $300. This did require getting creative with the board and how to cut it, because I don't have past 4 foot long boards. So I had to cut it a certain way to give it the width. Putting the wood together, the framing wasn't too hard. But altogether, it was just like building these tables. Not much different from this, except more support on the table and way more support on the legs and cross beaming. Like with these, there's no cross beams because I'm not going to stand on this, and there's not going to be super heavy things on there that shake it. With this, I had to put a couple of these and a couple of them that way just to keep this thing stable, because you don't want it to be swaying when you're sleeping. But yeah, about under $300 for a lifted bed. I wouldn't call it a bunk bed. I have more than enough space to put random stuff under there. Most of this stuff will probably eventually move under there. This is just going to be like long time storage. Like the farthest back in there is stuff that I don't need to touch ever, which is most of this stuff. I still haven't set up my table fully, where this is going to be like a workstation. I'm still settling in, but once I get it all moved around, I'm sure it'll all get to where it needs to get. This will change. This will become more of like a building station where I put things together, like electronics or whatever projects need to lay out can be here. Stuff will go under the bed. That's what the purpose of this thing is. So if anyone's watching this, if you want to save some space and you have a bed that's just like a foot off the ground and you just keep random shoe boxes under it, or if you have a bed that's just like on the ground like mine was for years, just a mattress on the floor, which doesn't utilize the space above it. For $300, you know, just pinch your pennies for a minute, go to Lowe's, go to Home Depot, go to a hardware store, chop up some wood, spend a little money, put in some work, and you can lift your bed and make a comfortable setup and have a lot of storage. Do I need all this storage in this new space? Not really. I do have a lot of space now, but because living in LA into a freaking tiny room has taught me how to do things like this, so I'm gonna do it anyways so that I have more than enough space. But yep, the bed's complete. It's a really dope project. Turned out great. The benefits of it were more than what I expected. Of having both these projects done was really cool. Hopefully this inspires you to go out and make whatever you feel like making instead of wasting money on pre-built furniture, because if you spend about the same amount of money, you can make custom built furniture. So, peace out, bruh.